Almost 50 years later, upstairs lounge victims may find peace. Before the Pulse shooting of 2016 claimed 49 lives, the largest attack on the LGBTQ+ community was the upstairs lounge fire. In 1970, the upstairs lounge opened on the second floor of a building on a street corner in the French Quarter. It was located at the top of a wooden stairwell with carpet that would not have passed fire codes had they been put in place in later years. An unknown person started the fire at the bottom of those stairs on June 24, 1973, and the carpet acted like a wick, quickly bringing the flames into the bar and trapping the gay patrons. Bars on the windows prevented their escape. Unlike at Pulse, the city and the community didn't care about the 32 victims. Most were unable to be buried, and few bodies were claimed and identified. Just last week, though, New Orleans city officials passed a motion to try and identify the victims via DNA testing or other methods. They will also be allowing the victims to finally receive a proper burial. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It just shows you what we were going through back in the 70s, not that long ago. But finally, some justice, hopefully for some of the families of these victims and the victims themselves.
Yeah, it's 50 years later. I mean, what X years later, but still, it's such a tragedy. I mean, I haven't first reading about the story. I heard about this this crime before, but now finding the details about it, it's just horrific sense.
Yep.
I just don't understand how even after all of this movement we had in the LGBT community with all the rights that we've acquired since that time, that this is now becoming oh, by the way, let's give them a proper burial and let's apologize. It's kind of like it's 50 years a little too late. I do believe that the families deserve the justice that they need, but it's shame on the city of New Orleans to kind of put this out like right now. This should have been a thing. We should not be talking about this in 2022. Finally giving them the justice that they need.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
True. Well, I'm actually going to New Orleans very soon. So,
But tell them what I said.
Yeah. Spread the message.
I'm tell them Christopher Barnhill said.
Yeah.
Christopher Barnhill said. But also, I do want to go visit the site as well.
Yep.
And pay my own respects.
Absolutely.
To queer ancestors and those lives being lost, because that also, it shows where we were 50 years ago as well. It really puts a lens and a perspective on how much people really didn't care.
Absolutely.
And how far we still have to go with just getting the respect of a proper burial. That's real.
Everyone
that's
deserves a
deep.
proper burial.
That's deep.
Crazy.
It's kind of scary. Reverting, you said, it's right now in this country, we have political forces who want to revert back to those dark times,
Absolutely.
and use us as bait for their base, and just, I don't know, it's the scary times. And then going with the primary coming up, this upcoming primary,
Gotta vote.
we need democracy action. I mean, in action right now, but that's another topic on my hand.
Well, post pictures, Jamal, when you
Yeah.
go, so we can lift up that memorial
Definitely.
and we, basically spread the word that this is we're recognizing these victims.
LGBTQ+ news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out television network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ+ community.